Hello, my name is Brian. This is Football Manager 22, and we're back in Salisbury. We're looking at the club vision screen for what could be the final time. Everything's mostly pretty good, except the spend original transfer budget. They're disappointed that we didn't spend all our money, and I get it. But on the other hand, we made the Champions League final without spending the entire budget. Like, why should I have to spend $80 million when I can sign Marcos Ballesteros for $18 million? So this is where we're at. We finished second in the Premier League, as we thought. No room to chase, no room to finish. We are in the finals of the Champions League against Napoli. Were the runner-up in the Carabao Cup. We won the FA Youth Challenge Cup. As we can see here, yep, we lost to Manchester United in a frustrating game, 3-1. I believe Johansson had a 6.2, and one of our right backs had a 6.1. It was not a great defensive performance. We went to Chelsea in the first leg of the FAU Challenge and won 3-2. We had our final home game of the year, a win over Newcastle, 5-2, pretty dominating. Sergei Dudarev with a hat trick in that performance. And that put us ahead of Manchester United in the final standings, getting us that extra $3 million. And then in the FA Youth Challenge at home, we went up and won 5-1, completely blowing them out. Toby Lansdowne is a complete house at this level, and it is very sad that he is, not capable of developing to a top flight level. That he's just going to be the world's greatest League 2, League 1 player with his pace, his acceleration, and his finishing. But he seems like he's never going to really develop the other attributes to the level he'd need to be to maybe even be a championship level player. So that's a, bit sad, but that's the way of the world. We scheduled a friendly against Copenhagen to keep the guys fit because there's basically 2 weeks from our last game until the Champions League final. And that takes us to the game against Napoli, a team we lost to twice in the Europa League just last year. 2 years ago? Either way. So let's go to the match. As you may or may not have figured out, this is being recorded after the fact. For whatever reason, my audio failed on the original recording, so I am recording after the fact, and so that I will try and keep it in the moment and not give anything away. We are using the traditional lineup of Garcia, Dudarev, Moss up top, Owner and Ozan in the middle. We had Johansson in goal. We've made a decision to play Matea on the left and Zabibi at defensive midfield, Petkov at center back, and Maric at right back, and to keep Fabio Torres on the bench. And this is to kind of game the system if it comes down to penalty kicks. Fabio Torres is one of our best penalty kick takers. If we start him, we'll probably want to take him off, before full time, and that ruins the whole point. I think Zabibi and Matea are pretty interchangeable with Torres. Zabibi at least at left back. I like Matea's pace and offensive ability at left back. So I think it's not really a downside for the team. We want to play Petkov. He's one of our best players. He's actually one of our better. He's our best center back, so good to play him there. And Maric is a better right back than any of our backup center backs. I noticed there were extra spots available in the Champions League final because it's out of season technically, so we get a full 12. We do not have 12 players because of the registration rules, so we couldn't slide in the players we'd acquired in mid-season because we acquired a decent amount during the course of the season or canceled loans and they hadn't been registered on the right team. So we brought on a bunch of our youth players other than Toby Twos, who often is on the bench for these sort of games. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Regular setup, positive mentality. Obviously, we won't actually be bringing on Toby Lansdowne or any of the other youth players. It's a very tight bench in terms of who we might bring on. A little confusing that there's so much that there's any red on the left side. The player is not comfortable with the formation. We've been playing these same formation for forever. Get with it, boys. Merritt, Alvarez, Geppert, Bassini, Braque, Johansson, a Icelandic player who was on the team when I managed the Icelandic national team, is on Napoli. So we've got that going for or against us, as he'll want to put one to his old coach. Do the old hit the... Oh, right. Second from the left, except in that case they were asking about, hey, PSG's interested in coming in and buying Ozan. How about that? And the second to left is like, yeah, we're open for business if they come in and make a decent deal. And no, I wanted to say, no, he's not for sale. Buzz off. So that was me highlighting their Johansson once again. And here we are in beautiful Madrid. And we get the opening kickoff. It's played back to Zabibi and then to Capoon. I'm sorry if I screw up any commentary. I am working on a smaller screen than usual in this bonus post-recording, so the names I'm seeing are extra small. Ball's played up to Garcia. So I'm going to be extra bad with their players. Alvarez dispossesses and starts to make a run down the right side. Plays it forward very well as we look to cut up his angle. Zabibi here tracking back, actually. Matea had been way up forward. Luckily, the cross is a long way across, and so the header is slow enough that Johansson makes an easy save. And they'll have the throw in. Good drive into the center. Luckily for us, just plays it long. We're just going to chill here. We are maintaining a possession lead, 60% to 40%. Moss will take a corner here, outswinger. As I've said many times, my less preferred swinging motion. Capoon does get his head on it, but unfortunately pops it over the net. He was a little more in the center of the pitch than I usually expect. I usually send both of my center backs towards the near post to varying degrees. They get a cross in, but no one's home. We miss the tackle and drives in, plays it out. Bounces around, which is always dangerous. You can never know where it's going to end up. It does end up with the foot of the defender, and luckily just misses. We are here in the 19th minute. I bring up the menu to have a think about encouraging. I'm going to wait for this attacking action to finish, just in case we score, because the boys will be unhappy if they're leading and I encourage them. Yeah, it's silly. We win the header. When they bomb it forward, our center backs are just better than their attacking players. Unfortunately, the ball is played for Dudarev, and he doesn't really have the angle as a center back is blocking him off. Again, here's us winning that, and ball played for Dudarev at this time. Does have an opportunity, and chips it into the goalie, and they immediately get back on the counterattack. Merritt does a good job of forcing him back outside, and then the pass outside. As our defense is fully reset by now. Ball's played in well, but luckily launches it. I think he could have probably maybe got enough another dribble and gotten himself in better position, but we will certainly not complain. They play the ball forward, header out, ball's headed forward, and Petkov, it looks like, is the one to easily play back to Johansson and initiate the counterattack. Ozan gets it up to Moss, bombs it forward to Dudarev. He's got to run, he's got space. Can Sergei Dudarev? No, off the goalkeeper's hands. The ball is played around, and they launch it forward. They do win that one against our right back, but he just plays into space, and we are the first ones there. Moss bombs the end line, gets the kickoff. It's blocked, but hey, that means another outswinging corner for us. The encouragement finally goes off 8 minutes later. We lose the header, but it looks like Ozan is the first one to it. Gets in the box. Oh, is that a foul? Ozan wants it to be a foul. We'd love a penalty kick. As shameless as that is, Moss, good opportunity here from this distance. Oh, and a beautiful save from Merritt. That was on frame. It'll give Moss a in-swinger here on this side, which is, again, usually more successful. Petkov does get his head on it, but he's so far close to Moss that it would need an outrageous angle to do so. Pick up the action here with Napoli in control after a dead ball, but they play it long, and Maric easily plays it back to Johansson, and we get to reinitiate. Ball's rolled to Capoon, plays up to Zabibi, back to Petkov, and out to Matea and up to Garcia. Garcia looking for a bit of a run, lays it back to Owner Terzi, tries to play it forward for Dudarev, but just plays it straight to a center back. Not great. They're going to have a pass about here. Bombs it forward, and Petkov, again, 6'4", wins a header. Plays back to Mateo, who bombs it forward, looking for Ozan. Not on frame. The keeper does save it and knock it out, which does give us another corner. We are requested to specifically mark someone, and we accept. Sure, works for me. Moss is the first one to the ball after the failure on the corner, and gets back attacking the end line. Gets a good cross off, punched out by the goalkeeper, and things start going the other way. Until we go to black. We will encourage again here in the 35th minute. Merritt will initiate action, bombs it forward. Oh, one time we don't win it. In on action. Miguel, whichever it is. You miss one header. And suddenly Napoli's up 1-0. Just really good action. Header exactly to the man, who then lays forward the ball to a great attacking run. Not a ton you can do there. Maybe a little tighter positioning on the second man. On the first man, you're staying in tight positioning to guard against the ball going to him on the header. Ball's played toward Dudarev. He's got a step. Can he create an opportunity? See it off the goalkeeper's hands. A little pressure, but unfortunately, we are going to go into the half having dominated possession, having dominated XG, and trailing. Not ideal. We've got most of the boys motivated with our responses we've chosen, and we individually tell Johansson, hey, we're going to need you, buddy. Don't get down in the dumps. Because, we've had some really good opportunities already. We just need one. So we'll crawl into the 50th minute and of his fields. So we've won this header. Goes up to Moss, plays it back to Maric, back to Capoon, back to Petkov, and up to Zabibi. Initiating attack up to Owner Terzi, into Garcia. Garcia to Terzi, to Dudarev. Ozan looking for Moss, does find him through the defender, plays it back in. No, just not quite. And Garcia then comes away with it, trying to create something, and then that ugly pass to Owner Terzi intercepted. But we get it back when they play it long and immediately get back on the attack. Moss up with Maric, plays it in. Opportunity right at the goalkeeper. Again, just having our favorite game, kick it right at the goalkeeper. Petkov will reinitiate. Zabibi plays it forward to Dudarev. Is first there, but unfortunately doesn't have an angle on the goal. Circles about. And a good slide from the defense to knock it away and prevent us from bringing in an attacking player there and threatening with a good attack. Napoli will threaten here, but the cross angle allows Petkov to easily play it back to Johansson. Unfortunately, Johansson, under no real pressure, bombs it forward, and they get to reset it themselves. They will, in fact, play it long again, and similar opportunity to some extent to their goal-scoring one, but luckily, the three-man action is actually more dangerous. Just playing it to the first man, usually we're going to have that reasonably well marked. Again, long cross across the box means the header coming afterwards is pretty easily saved. Owner Terzi cuts out their weak header, and we have a pass out in the middle. Ball gets up to Dudarev. Garcia finds it and blasts it from the top of the box here, 60th some minute. They have a corner coming in, and it's headed wide. We shift to an attacking mentality here midway through the 60 set something minute. They ball play forward, and interesting, no one gets on it for the header. It falls to their feet, and they start the attack the other way. But here we start the counterattack off this header. Garcia tucking heavily inside as inside forward. Ball's dispossessed, but it goes directly to Moss. Plays it back in. Garcia making a run. I can't even get it on frame. Just forces it wide. Ugly stuff. 69th minute, 70th minute, 71st minute. This is usually the time I start thinking about making a sub. But this is do or die. Is it... Players are on, they played a friendly a week ago. They've got plenty of rest. We can run the starters extra long because the backups aren't as good. I'm also thinking about, I need the goal. I gotta have this goal. I need a goal. Luckily, they missed that. A very short range header. But do we need to change formation? Do we need to get more attacking players on? Would that help? We switched to very attacking. And here in the 79th minute, I'm going to have a think about what to do. And I start taking a look at who is... good penalty takers, though obviously the more pressing need is just finding that goal to even give us the opportunity to get to extra time, let alone penalties. And in the end, I think I resolve to put in Ballesteros for Garcia, who's gassing out and wasn't having the best of games. But he's a winger on the left. So we're going to switch to winger on both sides, which really means we want another target available. And so we're going to move and play a 4-2-4 functionally, with 2 strikers up top, 2 wingers, 2 center midfielders, and 4 at the back. We're going to tell Dudarev to play as a attacking... a complete forward, and we're going to play Maric as an attacking forward. We move Zabibi back to left back, and it's Mateo we took off in that exchange. Zabibi is the captain. Hopefully his calmness radiates throughout the team. A little bit of a dangerous spot here. I don't know if the substitution's yet gone through. But a relatively safe save from Johansson there, 83rd minute. We do have a change in pocket. And they will initiate here, 87th minute. Time is just ticking away. We win the header. Moss to Ozan. Lays it forward, but nope. It's not played very well, and they come away with it. Again, we're dominating possession. We're dominating XG. But they had one successful counterattack, and so far our guys have just kicked it straight in their hands. Oh, what an opportunity created by them, and thank goodness the woodwork was kind to us as it goes out. But unfortunately, as we kick it out, that means the clock isn't kind to us. They're going to have an opportunity to burn some more clock here in the 88th minute. No goals in this half, no injuries. We only made one substitution window, so how long are the refs actually going to give us? 89th. You'd think by now they'd actually have put up how much stoppage time they're adding. Ball's played to Onur Terzi off a header from Moss, plays out to the wing. Ballesteros plays it for Dudarev. Unfortunately, Dudarev shoots immediately without even regard for angle and off the defender. It looks like you're adding 4 minutes of stoppage time. And we are here in the 93rd, or 90th plus 3. Unfortunately, they're heading forward. Moss creates an opportunity when they dispossess, plays it forward to Dudarev, and it just pings to their goalkeeper. Ballesteros does cut it out, but his header is intercepted by Napoli. I give one last encourage. That's all we can do. They're racing the end line. He should, theoretically just be playing the get your back to the ball. Moss bombs it forward, looking for Dudarev. Dudarev's got a step, looking for an angle. No, they cut it off. Oh, Dudarev out as a winger, plays it forward. Marin, goal! Marcelino Marin with the goal. Oh, please let it be onside, please. It's not onside, is it? It can't. No, is it? They're gonna take his what? They're gonna. Well, what is it? I'm not. I, I'm not seeing goal allowed or disallowed, but it's. Oh my! That is as late a goal as you will ever see. Look at that graph. We have dominated this, and we had to, oh my, grab it at the last possible second, play long past Dudarev Marin for the goal. Let's play 30 more. We do have 2 subs available now. The first, obviously, due to us having not used one in regulation, and then the quote-unquote typical one, bonus one you get when you go into stoppage time. Here, about 5 minutes in, I see that Maric is gassing, so I'm going to move Petkov out to the right wing, and we are going to bring in Fabio Torres to play center back. As we mentioned, he's one of the better penalty takers. If it goes that far, it goes that far. Also, we just want some fresh legs in the defense. I start looking at Ozan, I look at Terzi, I look then at Cekatani, but he's not as good a penalty taker. He's not as good as player. Now they're both exhausted. But do you make the change? I decide not to. Still got that one remaining change in my pocket. Ozan, opportunity here, right into the line. Ballesteros is the one who comes with it, starches it, but I think it's wide and saved by Merit anyways. Give the boys some encouragement. We are still on very attacking, which here in a few moments I will notice is still on, and I deem a mistake. I do want to kind of just be in a positive mentality, and not the insane balls to the wall mentality where we have to score. I mean, trust me, we want to score. I don't want to take this to penalties as much as I've been preparing for it to happen. Rafiko, luckily defender's in the way, ball bounces wide, and they can't get control of it and dribble it out. They've got a little bit of a press on, not on to the center backs who are playing pretty shallow, but they're tired enough that we have a beautiful set of passes there. Bing, 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 up to Marin, looking for Dudarev. Unfortunately, it's intercepted by their center back and headed back to their goalkeeper. Dudarev stays on him, but they play it long out to the wing. Here is where I notice, exactly as I mentioned, the mentality being not exactly what I would like at this opportunity, as it's still what it was when we were desperately searching for that last-minute goal. We are kind of stuck into this 4-2-4. I suppose we could kind of revert back by putting on a central midfielder and taking off Dudarev. But again, Dudarev is our best penalty taker. We want him on for the end. And if anyone deserves to be running the whole time, trying to find us the win, it's Sergei Dudarev. So we're going to stick with what we got. That was just halftime of extra time, and so we have 15 minutes remaining. I believe Maric is the only one on our team who had a yellow card, and obviously we subbed him off. They had one player on a yellow card. I don't know if he's still on the pitch. But it doesn't seem like that'll be a factor here. Ball's played out to Moss. Doesn't have the pep in his step to really make sure he gets that in line, but does create enough space by drifting outside to get a cross off. Unfortunately, nothing comes of it. Owner Terzi plays it back in. It's intercepted by the defender. Plays it out. Petkov's the one there. Ball's played in. Moss. Oh! And there's the revenge of the woodwork. I'm going to make some more changes. Again, I'm going to slow down the tempo as our guys are tired, and we're going to turn off dribble less. If they want to have a bit of a dribble run, if there's open space, we will allow it now, because they're tired, and we just want them making the best decisions possible, not the forced decisions. Moss obviously had an outbreaking corner there, and nothing came of it. Ball's thrown into Ballesteros. It's cross. It just trickles across the goal mouth and out wide. Moss will take another corner on the opportunity here, 116th minute. Outbreaker headed right to the goalkeeper. Story for our lives, right to the goalkeeper. A bit far out from Ozan, does get it on frame, saved by Merit, knocked out. Moss will have it in swinger this time. Nope, we aren't the ones who get it, but Balasaurus is the first one there. Does play it all the way back to Zabibi. Plays up to Capoon. We're going to have that always awkward exchange between center backs and full backs. It looks like they're mostly flat right now. Torres plays it forward. Unfortunately, it's intercepted by the attackers. This looks really, really bad. Our players are just trying to race back to get back in position. And luckily, a great slide tackle there breaks up the attacking action. And then we have this awful tackle here, giving them an opportunity, and it's not there. Johansson gets back on his feet, and we are in the 120th minute. There is 1 minute of extra time, and they missed the opportunity. So I am now playing for penalties completely. I am going to check who is our best option as a penalty taker who isn't on the pitch. We've already got our one actual specialist on, and it's looking like the answer is Toby Twos. He has 11 penalty taking and decent composure. All the young players aren't even close, and the other players are Cekatani, who's a worst taker, and Torres, Marcos Torres, who's a defensive back. Zabibi's one of the worst takers on the team. It's gassed out, so we're going to make an awkward switch there. Owner Terzi is a good defensive player. He plays defensive midfielder for some time. So for the last minute of the game, he will play left back, kind of inverted, and Toby will be in the midfield. Capoon will initiate the action up to Petkov. Preston plays back to Johansson. To Torres, to Capoon, back to Johansson. Out to Torres, and up to Terzi. Terzi then bombs it forward, looking for Marin. Shoved. Last action of the game. Marcelino Marin getting shoved. And, Alvarez, their yellow card, is picking up another yellow card and getting sent off here at the last possible minute again. Could it be last possible minute again? We will have a free kick. Our guys are offsides, but Moss, they get back. Moss plays it short. Torres header. Ugh. That is terrible. And that's it. That's it for extra time, ingloriously ending there. It's time to set our order for penalty takers. I don't know what position Alvarez plays. I believe he is a left or right back. So he's probably not a great penalty taker, so it's probably not going to hurt them in that regard. It will bring up, say, their keeper faster. So that would be worse for them. But if they manage to keep it alive through their keeper faster, that means they get to play their top of their order faster, and we will be stuck playing our keeper taking 11th. I'm pretty happy with the top of our order, certainly our top 5. After that, it gets a bit muddy. They're not great penalty takers, but they all have decent composure for that next set. So really our top 9 I'm pretty comfortable with. I tell everyone just pick their shots, feel comfortable. I think Terzi's the only one who didn't, and I called him out individually, and everyone is looking motivated. Dudarev will start us off. Boom. Laser, lower, left. Goal. Give us the advantage. We're taking first. I love it. I want to set the pace here. Show them what they have to do. And unfortunately, Petkov showed him exactly what he needed to do. He blasted into the lower left. Here's our man, Owner Terzi. He of the individual improvement looks like right-footed. And boom, other way, low and right. 2-0. Spiafico, I believe, is up. Lower right. Plays it right back to the keeper. Johansson makes it the save. Oh, yes. Come on. This is it. Here, does our strategy pay off? Fabio Torres comes in, making sure he was available for this spot. And boom. That's impossible to save. There's a reason we saved him for this spot. Whew. And unfortunately, they equal again. Good stuff. Now here's the time to see if our real insanity pays off. A 17-year-old. Can he come in and save? No, Toby. Oh, Toby, just the moment is too much for the young man. And he blasts it wide. Oh, we're even again. Well, we're not even yet. They have to make this. But we're even again. Johansson, the Icelandic native player, ties it up. And so Ozan, come up. 3-3. Last guaranteed taker. Boom. Good. Pressure's all on them. Aude, Aude is up. Left-footed. What's it gonna be? Nah. Johansson dives the right way, but it's just not enough. All right, Kevin Moss is up. English national teamer. Bi-footed and taking it right. Blast laser. Just some heat on that one. Yep. Pressure back on Napoli. I'd say Ferreira, maybe Pereira. Coming up to take. Right-footed. Johansson need to stand his ground, but he dives wildly, even if he stood his ground. Might be hard to handle, so high and hot. Balasaurus will come up for us, left-footed. Oh, what a play from Merritt, and only the fact that Balasaurus lasered it as hard as he did meant it was unsavable. But man, he made the right call and managed to get high with it. He didn't dive low. Braque, I believe, is up for them. Right-footed. Pressure, but coolly answers. We're here in the 7th. Again, I don't want to go to my 10th taker or so. If Capoon's taking, I really don't like my opportunity. Petkov bombs it. Yep. I wouldn't say it was bombed, but it was good enough. They got to feeling the sweat. The fact that their goalkeeper might be taking soon. Winter will come up. Left-footed. Saved by Johansson. There it is. There it is. Year 14. 14 years, Salisbury has won the Champions League. Look at this glorious, glorious, glorious trophy presentation. Okay, so it's not that glorious, but it's a trophy presentation. European Champions League winners. 14 years ago, Salisbury was playing in the Southern Premier League South, Premier South, Central Leagues Premier. And 14 years later, we have won the Champions League. And that's it. I mean, that's what we set out to do. We set out to be the best team in Europe. No one really cares. Love the cartwheel, number 5, who's probably Zabibi. Hey, captain doing cartwheels. Beautiful stuff. I want to thank you all so much for joining me on this crazy journey. James in particular, thank you so much. Dave, when you see this in a month, thank you too. Anyone else who was along with me, even just temporarily, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you all. Again, this will probably be the end of this save. I might occasionally pick it up for my own personal edification. Unfortunately, with the rules being off kilter the way they are, I don't fully enjoy this save as much as I'd like. Just kind of flipping through things here. Look at our money. Send Phil Neville to do a press conference. Dudarev was leading goal scorer in the Champions League. Huzzah. I do have an idea for another save. It probably won't be something I play on stream unless I figure out how to upgrade my stream quality and the quality of my product that I'm putting out so that I actually, have people who are more than just loyal friends to watch. So thank you so very much for joining me on this crazy journey. So the save will be playing one of the teams in the Spanish 4th tier who are actually based on the African continent, and then winning the European Champions League with that club based on the African continent with all players all of African descent. Or I suppose I will allow any youth products who come out of our academy, but given you start in the 4th tier, it's unlikely you produce any really good youth products that are worth coming through. So for the last time, thank you so much for joining me. Like and comment, subscribe, do any of those things, though there may not be more videos that those help. I appreciate you all very much. I hope you have a very lovely day, night, morning, whatever time it may be, wherever you are. And for the last time, goodbye.